how to get a hero reviewed. Normally, I would review a hero on Tuesday. That is if we follow our schedule anyways, which we haven't done very well recently, but hey, we will definitely try. Anyways, every Tuesday I take heroes that you guys have sent in via sending into my ID, or through donations, or through free-to-play orbs on Twitch. Anyways, there's a bunch of ways that are free or monetary or whatever to get your heroes reviewed. We also have the Nimdom top 10 section in our Discord to send a hero in, so if you want to make Nimdom top 10. Anyways, there are several ways to get your hero on stream, but mostly I try and focus on it like one day of the week. Anyways, pretty simple. Show up on stream, send your ID in, or through other methods, and then you'll be on. That is if I don't get too tired first. Sometimes these things go on for hours and I will die. Okay, anyways, plus 10 Soleil, 7 Flowers, 48 HP, 58 attack, 46 speed, 33 defense, 29 res, plus speed variant, Slaying Edge, reposition noontime, distant counter Wrath, attack res of 3, attack smoke 3. Yeah, this is very, very basic. It works pretty well. You're going to rely on Soleil's inherent high attack for the kills, owing, of course, to a fast noontime. 1 cooldown, so as soon as she gets hit, she gets a counter of noontime. And if she finds herself under 75% HP, she will get the 10 bonus damage, and of course noontime will just become instant, so she can heal up instantly. This is a pretty decent build. The only problem is what happens when you face something that has too much defense. At just 58 attack, and even with Wrath trigger, you're not really hitting that hard, and your defense and res isn't that great. So most people don't do this at higher levels because it just doesn't work very well. Because you got to remember, you're at plus 10, plus 7. You're going to be fighting other plus 10s, and other plus 10s, especially with their armor, they just shrug this off. They just shrug it off. Even if you get 2 shots at 58 off, they hardly take any damage nowadays. Tier 15. Well, you wouldn't have to worry about it because you're tier 15. But yeah, at higher points of this game, you would want to switch to a more powerful special, just because this doesn't work as well.
I thought my Rinia was going to make the last review video. See sad face.
Wait, when did you send it in? We're really behind on, like, top 10. Alright. Fetching Frere, Libra. 40 plus 10, 10 flowers. Man. He's also a hero who's waiting desperately for his refine. Anyways, 51 HP, 58 attack, 41 speed, 34 defense, 35 res. Who is this? Gabriel, I friggin' hate you. Guys, you wanna know why I hate Gabriel? You guys remember when Yogurt first got released? I was so triggered. I was just like, wow, look at this cute lolly who just wants to swim. And when she dies, she drowns. She makes drowning sounds. I was like, that's adorable, even though it's morbid. That's adorable. And then as soon as I was like, wow, 170 BSC, everyone should make a plus 10 Yogurt. And then people, like dozens and dozens of people will be like, you know what? Libra has a better BST spread, and he's free to play, and you can get him as a 3 and 4 star. Instead, make Libra and just max out his flowers, in which case he also reaches 170 BST. But it's not the same because he can't go into arena as a 170 BST hero. Anyways, that always got to me. And then people thought it was funny. People thought it was funny to friggin' fodder off Shoreline Rake to Libra because he has a Wudao axe, which is also a good axe. But like, no, this is you're not funny. You're not funny at all. This has happened so many times already. You're like 8 months behind on this joke, all right? Okay, but like, yeah, other than that, Shoreline Rake is really good. So long as you have him in a functional team with like a tactic skill or whatnot, he will have attack defense +4 during combat, which is nice because it's not like just when you're attacking, it's when you're defending as well. Attack speed push with close call. By the way, attack speed push does not work with close call. You realize that, right? Close call, if unit speed... Wait, no, it does. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, if it says if unit speed is over foe speed, that's just like in all scenarios. if it says before, if it mentions like current bonuses or something like that, current stats, that's before combat. But yeah, this does work. They really just need to convert all skills from whatever prerequisites to like if unit speed over foe speed. But yeah, this actually works. It always gets to me because like it shouldn't work, but it does work. Anyways, yeah, the attack speed push and close gun would work. So technically you're running with a 48 speed. Ugh, this is so extravagant for Libra. I hope this build works when he finally gets his axe, but who really knows whatever his axe will be, and it might be like a year down the line. But yeah, aside from that, yeah, if you do close call, I wouldn't really be worried about like taking much damage. 34 defense is already fairly decent, and if you have close call with the 40% reduction, which you should get at like 48, and then you're slowly chugging towards ether with a well, it's not even slow anymore. Flashing blade would be -2, -1, -2, so you have ethers to keep yourself in the attack speed push, and then the attack res oath as well is pretty damn good. Oh yeah, it's good. I like the attack res oath push instead of like a lot of other skills, because if you want shoreline rake to work, you gotta stay close to your buffers anyways, so it makes sense. Oh man, straight up, like your name reminds me of Wovlung. I can't even say his name anymore. Back when I was a kiddo, back in like middle school and high school, I used to play MapleStory, and we had this one guy in like Windia organizing like Zakum runs. That was what it was, right? And he was really cool, and his name started with Wov. But he eventually quit the game because he said it wasn't worth his time, and he worked as a waiter, and he would always do overtime to try and get more money. Like, it was a really interesting time, and it was like the first time I experienced like an adult like trying to balance everything. He also got no sleep. I think I'm around the same age he was when he started like making those hard decisions. Anyways, your name just reminds me of him. But yeah, 41 flower, Swift Sparrow 3, lull attack speed. Yeah, I like that. Because Tagwell Fang prevents you from getting doubled anyways. Swift Sparrow, lull attack. Like, I wouldn't run a Desperation or something. It just doesn't make sense anymore. If the most you can get hit is one time, just take the hit then. Especially if you can use that to get into Gale Force, that's nice. Heavy Blade. Oh boy. I'm actually not a fan of that. But Pan is one of those heroes who like have great mastery of stat manipulation to make it work. So normally I would virtually never suggest going Gale Force unless you reach at least 55 attack. But here's the thing. Tagwell Fang drops the enemy's attack by 4. Upon transformation, you gain 2 attack. So it's not as bad as just 43 attack. Additionally, you add another 6 and then add another 3 here because you drop their attack by 3. So that extends your defense and extends your attack. So in reality, your attack, when everything's factored in with their reductions and whatnot as well. Okay, if unit is not adjacent to any ally, grants attack speed, defense, res +3, so 3 there. Transformation is another 2, so 5. And it's also another 4 on reduction on their attack, so that's 9. And then you add another 6, 15, and you add another 3, 18. So yeah, that's like effectively 61 attack, and then you take away their ability to have their attacks buffed up. So yeah, this Heavy Blade on Pan really works. It's really weird, but it works. Yeah, great build. An extension of your defense with Tagwell Fang is also pretty significant. So it's actually not even 30 defense. It should factor into 3 plus 4 plus 3, so around 40 defense. Not that high, but yeah, that works. There are so many. I can't even get to the main list yet. God damn it. I thought I was being smart doing the hero views at like 11:41 p.m. But you guys are still here. What the fuck? This is why I can't do this at a normal time. I'll get like hundreds of requests and disappoint like the vast majority of people. Okay, dark font effects, Garnish. What the fuck is this? Man, Why do you guys do this? Why would you do this? Okay, so yeah, I'll just be honest, you put attack speed push 4 and desperation on almost anybody with like at least 35 speed, they're gonna come out pretty decent. But the thing is, like, this isn't what he's meant for. And I really don't know why you would do this. Honestly, I would just go do a Tharja if I were gonna try something like this. Alright, anyways, I'm Hulu. At start turn 3, deals 5 damage to non-magic foes within 5 columns centered on unit and inflicts stats on those foes preventing counterattacks through their next actions. This is one of the most inconsistent and difficult to use correctly tomes. In theory, it's really cool, but it only works for 1 turn, and it just becomes a res plus 3 weapon. It's really, in other words, really situational and generally not very good. Garnish is most well known for getting killed by Marth. Or is that a spoiler? I think it says so here. Hatched a scheme to revive the Shadow Dragon Nimious and rule the world. Alright. It's not even a spoiler. What kind of villain would survive this? Anyways. Whatever. Anyways, I don't know. Honestly, it wouldn't change anything because this works. Because when it triggers, it's 55 attack, 45 speed. That's respectable. That works with desperation. The problem is, I would you kind of do have to use Moonbow or something like that just to get the damage off and get the kills. Especially, you can't afford to take any more damage once you're into desperation, because that puts you at like 30 HP, which means you only have 4 attacks at most before you drain yourself out of you drain yourself at attack speed push. So I hope that works out. Defense res oath is fine. It's fine, yeah. Yeah, the problem is, like, at most you don't want to take too much damage. It's just hard to like balance this out. I don't know. I think it's fine. It's the truth of the matter is, you really shouldn't use Garnish unless you, what the fuck? Close counter. It's just, you really shouldn't use him. Bonus stopper. What is this? You really shouldn't use him because he's not ideal in like any situation. The greatest thing about him is his times. I'm just gonna shut up now. There's just no point in talking anymore. Bruh, this is actually pretty good. Wait a second. I get it, but like, you should really just pick one and stick with it. So the reason why I just said that is this. 40 plus 10 plus 10, this is a max out Merrick. This is using Excalibur. The best thing about Excalibur is it's effective against flying foes. It's one of the rare tomes in the game that's effective against flying, but is a tome. Usually you don't find that. You find that in like archer bows, but that's physical damage versus magical damage. Anyways, 49 HP, 50 attack, 38 speed, 34 defense, 25 res, plus attack variant. The entire idea of Excalibur is to keep him within 2 spaces of magic or staff ally, so he gets attack speed plus 5. It also gives him a faster special. But when you use attack speed solo as well, and Swift Sparrow, the idea is to use him in both scenarios. So whether he's close within 2 spaces of somebody, you can also still trigger attack speed solo, and when he's attacking, the attack speed solo, Swift Sparrow, and Excalibur has a chance of working together. So there's a decent chance these things all don't work together, or there's some scenarios where they all work together. It's not 100% consistent, but like when it does work out, you get 4, you get 6, and you get another 5, so 15 more attack, 65 attack, and you get 4, 6, and 5, so 53 speed, yeah. And then once Ether triggers, it drops to 2 cooldown, so you attack, they attack, and then you just Ether them to heal back up. Yeah, very, very clean, very, very good build. Not much to say. Personally, I like Nino's, so I would never really consider this. But for what it is, he does have one major advantage over Nino that she can't overcome, and that's he's effective against flyers. So yeah. Otherwise, this is a respectable build. Now, the only person I was ever aware of that actually super liked Merrick was Akaris. I will butcher his name for all of eternity. I don't give a shit. Alright, no, I do care. He's actually come on stream to try and correct me a few times. But then right after he leaves, I immediately forget and say it wrong. Which is funny, because I even tune into his stream on occasion. But whatever. He's the only one who I know of, like, who talked highly of Merrick. Aside from him, like, I see nobody actually use Merrick. I still say it's better off just to use Nino, because higher damage output. But Merrick is just much more consistent, because he has the physical bulk that Nino doesn't have. But he has that physical bulk because he sacrifices offensive abilities for it. And so it's a trade-off. It's definitely a trade-off. But I definitely think Nino has much more value because it's a Blade Tome. And she has much greater ceilings than Merrick. And Merrick definitely needs some setup to work properly. Anyways. And this is quite expensive, to be honest. But yeah, anyways, that's between your choices. If you want the bulkier mage with anti-flyer ability, you go Merrick. If you want the mage who's a better generalist and also has higher offensive potential, you go Nino. So you either go for general offense with higher maximum offense, or you go for better bulk and specialty against flyers that I give up on playing, or there are things I want to do that I don't do simply because I gotta put the time into the YouTube grind, you know? Lazlo gay boy. Ugh. Alright guys, real quick. I can't tell you guys how many people have been like trying to convince me that Lazlo is now better than Keaton because he can technically get to a higher attack and he can technically true double as well, and he is also red and he's free to play. And then from that they come to me with like he's now better than Keaton. But here's the thing. Like, nobody ever seems to pay attention to the fact that you will not always have all these things laid out for you to trigger his ability. Keaton doesn't have restrictions. He doesn't. He can always use his true double. Lazlo can't. So when people pay too much attention to stats, I'm just like kind of annoyed, because the reality is you don't always get the situations you want. Sometimes you're debuffed, sometimes your allies are out of position, sometimes you can't put an ally nearby because they will get destroyed by something else. Like, it's just it's not the same thing. With that said, yes, if Lazlo gets everything to work out in his favor, he is most definitely a better option than Keaton. Just because he's much easier to merge, and he has similar, if not better, offenses, much easier. But yeah, it's not free. It's not free. It's a great refine, but it's not free. Anyways, for those who forgot to refine, if a movement assist skill like reposition, shove, pivot, etc. is used by unit or targets, grants attack speed, defense, res, floor to target or targeting ally, and allies within 2 spaces of unit and target or targeting ally for 1 turn after movement. In other words, this is a decent option for buffing your allies as well. So you can reposition a hero forward, which is what you're doing, and you can give them all these extra stats. Additionally, by giving them their stats, if unit is within 3 spaces of 2, keyword 2, it's not 1, it's 2, it's not even as easy as people are putting it out to be. 2 or more allies who each have a total bonuses over 10 or greater than 10, attack defense plus 3 during combat, and unit attacks twice. And it's a true brave double. So yeah, like technically if you get everything to set up, yeah, he will work out better, but like it's not free. Anyways, which is why I kind of like expect why you would go for Swiss Sparrow 3, which is a better catch-all. So if Lazlo's blade triggers and he gets a true brave, now it's a quad, you know, even better. But if it doesn't work out and he has to rely on himself, well, this is still good. It's 62, 42 speed. 62, 42. You added 4 on 4 on that, so 66, 46. And then advantage. I guess if you have like, yeah, sure. I guess if you have a true brave on Vantage, you'll ruin most things. But you don't have DC, but yeah, that's the only thing. And then Panic Smoke. Panic Smoke's good too. To take away their specials, which is probably the only thing that would threaten him. But yeah. Anyways, Lazlo's Blade. Dope refine. It's actually really impressive that they went this far. But it takes setup, and it's not free. So here's the thing. 3 spaces is honestly super big, and I would just worry more about the buffing. True. You have to have a team out there, but it's just the multiple conditions, especially if Lazlo is the defensive hero. This is better used defensively than offensively. Because if you're spending multiple heroes' turns just to set up Lazlo to double, this is probably not a good idea. Like in modes like Ether Raids where you have a certain amount of turns, it could ruin you. It could cause you to lose. You can't afford to spend 3 heroes' turns just so Lazlo can do his thing, right? Now, start of Ether Raids, yes, you can do that. Middle of the Ether Raids, if you didn't get the wipeout or they're split up properly, you might have a problem. So yeah, it's really it becomes a lot about playing with setup, and sometimes you just don't have like the leeway to play with setup. But yeah, other than that though, this is more consistent. I would definitely agree with Swiss Barrel. With Keaton, it's much safer and easier just to do distant counter. But yeah, with Lazlo, the Swiss Barrel is a better catch-all. So whether you have Lazlo's Blade or you don't have Lazlo's Blade, he's still deadly. Anyways, it's good. Tactics set this up easily. Look, man, if all you care is setup, and you think you'll get the setup 100% of the time, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Most people should have played this game long enough to realize you don't always get what you want. It's like, I hate this discussion because there will be people out there who will literally tell me, I've never lost an Ether Raids battle. I'm like, okay, sure, that's bullshit, but okay, fine, tell me that. I've never lost an arena battle. Oh yeah, definitely, you've never lost an arena battle. I've never lost an arena assault battle. Yeah, okay. Because I get a perfect setup 100% of the time. Everything works exactly as I imagined because I'm that good. No, fuck off. That's not the case. But yeah, if you get the setup, yes, he's better. But it's the reality is nothing. It doesn't work like that. Not everything just works exactly as you planned it out to be. But yeah, like I hate arguing on that just because there are people out there who will say that. It's insane. Now, real quick, by the text, it means each half total bonus is greater or equal to 10. Here's the thing. People with Lazlo, because I don't have Lazlo and I haven't done this, I need to know this for sure. When I first read about this, I was like, what if you just get panicked? Then this doesn't work. A couple days later, a Lazlo player said, even if you're panicked, it still works. So I was just like, wait, what? Because it says each half total bonus is greater or equal to 10. But if you get panicked, it's negative. That actually doesn't fit the description. Right? But apparently it does work. So, like, getting panicked is really easy to do, and that could really easily mess things up. So if you can dodge that's huge.